The chamber is open and full of whispers.
Before we dive in, check the link in the description if you want exclusive Timelines members-only videos you won't find on YouTube, all on our Patreon. The shack is falling apart. Rotting wood. Broken windows. Dust everywhere. Severus Snape lies on the floor. Blood pools around his neck and shoulder. Dark, spreading. Nagini's venom burns through his veins. Necrotic, cursed. His vision blurs. The taste of copper fills his mouth. Cold creeps up from his fingertips. This is how it ends. Alone. He closes his eyes. 12:01 a.m. Footsteps. Running. Voices. Professor Snape. Harry Potter's face appears above him. Green eyes. Lily's eyes. Snape can't speak. His vocal cords are shredded. Blood bubbles at his throat when he tries. Take them, he manages to whisper. Silver threads leak from his temple. Memories. Harry pulls them with his wand, draws them out like silk. Snape sees Lily's eyes one last time. Then darkness. 12:03 a.m. A sharp sting. Dittany. The smell of it burning his skin. A voice. Female urgent. Stay with us, Professor. Stay with us. Hermione Granger. She's kneeling beside him, hands shaking, pulling something from her beaded bag. A bezoar. She forces it into his mouth, down his throat. The poison in his blood recoils, neutralizes, but the curse damage remains. The horcrux venom carved into his cells. Harry, hold the wound closed, Hermione orders. Harry's hands press down on Snape's neck. Warm, steady. Snape's eyes flutter open. He sees Harry's face inches away. Grief, determination. Lily's expression when she defended him from bullies. Snape tries to speak. Can't. His right hand tremors. Useless. You're going to be okay, Harry says. Just hold on. Snape's vision fades again, but this time he's not alone. 12:15 a.m. The Battle of Hogwarts ends. Voldemort falls. The castle stops shaking. Silence. Then cheers. But in the Shrieking Shack, Snape is still dying. Hermione keeps applying Dittany, keeps checking his pulse. It's weak, she says, but it's there. Harry looks at her. Will he make it? I don't know. Heavy, purposeful. Kingsley Shacklebolt enters. Tall, bald, exhausted. His aura robes are torn and bloody. He kneels beside Snape, checks his pulse. His eyes widen. He's alive, Kingsley says. Merlin's beard, he's alive. He pulls out his wand, casts a diagnostic charm. Blue light washes over Snape's body, reveals the damage. Kingsley's face goes pale. Get him to St. Mungo's. Now, he conjures a stretcher. Levitates Snape onto it. I'll take him myself, Kingsley says. Potter Granger, you did well. He's got a chance because of you. Hermione nods. Tears on her face. Harry just stares at Snape's unconscious form. Kingsley disapparates. The shack is empty again. 12:30 a.m. St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. The emergency ward is chaos. Healers running everywhere. Patients screaming. Blood on the floors. The war's casualties pour in. Kingsley materializes with Snape. A healer rushes over. Young, female, panicked. What happened? Nagini bite. Neck and shoulder. He's been like this for half an hour. The healer's face goes white. Nagini? The horcrux snake? Yes. We need a specialist. Get healer Tremaine from creature-induced injuries. They rush Snape to a bed. Cut away his robes. The wound is horrific. 2 deep punctures. Blackened skin spreading outward. The venom's curse signature visible as dark veins. Healer Tremaine arrives. Older, gray-haired, competent, she examines the wound. The bazaar saved him from the poison, but the curse damage, she trails off. Can you fix it? Kingsley asks. I can stabilize him, but permanent damage is likely. Nerve destruction, magical scarring. Do what you can. Tremaine begins. Wand movements. Complex. Precise diagnostic charms. Healing spells. Antivenom draughts poured directly onto the wound. Snape's body convulses. His back arches. A strangled gasp tears from his throat. Then he goes still. Tremaine checks his vitals. Pulse is stronger. Breathing is steady. He's fighting. Kingsley exhales. Will he wake up? I don't know. The damage to his vocal cords is severe. His right brachial plexus is compromised. And his magical core, she hesitates. What about his magical core? It's scarred. The horcrux curse burned through it. He'll be able to cast spells, but it will cost him more. Exhaustion, pain, limitations. He survived Voldemort for 17 years. He'll survive this. Tremaine nods. I hope you're right. May 3rd, 1998, 6 a.m. Snape wakes. The first thing he sees is white. White ceiling. White walls. White sheets. Sterile. The smell of potions fills his nose. Dittany. Essence of murtlap. Blood-replenishing draught. He tries to sit up. Pain explodes through his neck and shoulder. He gasps. The sound is wrong. Raspy. Barely audible. A healer appears. The young one from last night. Mr. Snape. Please don't move. You're very weak. He tries to speak. His vocal cords don't work properly. The words come out as a strained whisper. Where am I? The memory floods back. Voldemort's command, the snake's strike, the cold. Voldemort, he whispers. Dead. Harry Potter killed him. Snape closes his eyes. It's over. The war is over, and he's alive. He shouldn't be alive. He was supposed to die. Why did you save me? He rasps. The healer looks confused. Why wouldn't we? Because I'm a Death Eater. A murderer. I killed Dumbledore. The healer's expression softens. Mr. Shacklebolt told us you were a spy. You were on our side. Snape turns his head away. On our side. He's never been on anyone's side but his own. And Lily's. Always Lily's. Rest, Mr. Snape, the healer says. You need to heal. She leaves. Snape stares at the window. Sunlight streams through. Dawn. He hasn't seen a sunrise in 17 years that didn't come with orders. From Voldemort, from Dumbledore. But this sunrise is his. No mission, no masters. Just free. He doesn't know how to feel about that. May 10th, 1998. A week passes. Snape remains in St. Mungo's. The healers visit daily. Check his wounds. Adjust his potions regimen. His vocal cords are healing. Slowly, but the damage is permanent. He speaks in a raspy whisper now. Every word costs effort. His right hand tremors constantly. Nerve damage from the bite. He can hold a quill for about 5 minutes before his hand gives out. Healer Tremaine explains the magical scarring. Your core was damaged by the Horcrux curse. It's like a muscle that's been torn. It will heal, but it won't be the same. Snape whispers. Spellcasting will require more energy. Complex magic will exhaust you. A Patronus, for example, might leave you bedridden for a day. Snape nods. He's never cast a Patronus for anything but messages anyway. Can I brew potions? He asks. Theoretically, yes. But your hand tremors will make precision work difficult. You'll need to adapt. Adapt, he's been adapting his entire life. One more adaptation won't kill him. Though Nagini nearly did, May 15th, 1998, Kingsley Shacklebolt visits. He's been named Acting Minister of Magic. The ministry is in chaos, rebuilding, purging Death Eater sympathizers. Snape, Kingsley says. How are you feeling? Like I was bitten by a giant cursed snake. Snape rasps. Kingsley smiles faintly. Your sense of humor survived, at least. What do you want, Shacklebolt? To inform you that there will be a trial. The Wizengamot wants to review your case. Snape's jaw tightens. A trial. For the murder of Albus Dumbledore. For conspiracy with Death Eaters. For... I know the charges. Snape interrupts. When? 1 month from now. You'll be well enough to attend by then. And if I'm convicted, you won't be. Harry Potter has agreed to testify on your behalf. He has your memories. Potter. The name tastes bitter, but also something else. Gratitude, maybe. The boy saved his life. Twice. Once in the shack, once by taking the memories. Will I be imprisoned until the trial? Snape asks. No. You're under St. Mungo's care. That's confinement enough. Kingsley stands. For what it's worth, Snape, thank you for everything you did. Snape doesn't respond. Kingsley leaves. Snape stares at the ceiling. A trial. His entire life lay bare before the Wizengamot. Lily, the dark mark, the spying, Dumbledore's death. All of it, he's not sure he'll survive the humiliation. But then again, he's not sure he deserves to. June 15th, 1998, Ministry of Magic, Wizengamot courtroom. The courtroom is packed. 50 members of the Wizengamot sit in raised seats. Purple robes, solemn faces. The gallery is full. Reporters, survivors, families of the dead. Everyone wants to see the trial of Severus Snape. Snape himself sits in a wheelchair at the center of the room, still too weak to stand for long periods. His robes are clean, black, formal, but his hands shake. His face is gaunt. He looks like a man who's already been executed. Kingsley Shacklebolt presides, acting minister, chief warlock. He bangs the gavel. The Wizengamot will now hear the case of Severus Tobias Snape. The charges are as follows. First, the murder of Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore on June 30th, 1997. Second, conspiracy with Death Eaters from 1981 to 1998. Third, torture and abuse of students under the Carrows regime at Hogwarts. Snape keeps his eyes forward, emotionless. How does the accused plead? Kingsley asks. Snape's voice is a rasp. Not guilty. The courtroom erupts, shouts, curses. A woman screams, "Murderer!" Kingsley bangs the gavel. Order, order in the court. The noise dies down. Kingsley continues. The defense calls its first witness, Harry James Potter. The courtroom goes silent. Harry enters from a side door. He's wearing formal robes, dark green, clean. But his face is tired, haunted. He's fought a war, killed Voldemort, lost friends. He's only 18 years old. He takes the witness stand. Kingsley speaks. Mr. Potter, you have agreed to provide testimony on behalf of the accused. Is this correct? And you understand that your testimony will be given under veritaserum to ensure truthfulness? I do. A court official approaches with a vial, 3 drops on Harry's tongue. His eyes glaze slightly. The truth serum takes hold. Kingsley begins. Mr. Potter, did Severus Snape murder Albus Dumbledore? Yes. More gasps. Snape doesn't react. He knew this would come. Did Albus Dumbledore consent to this murder? Silence. Then Harry speaks. Yes. Kingsley bangs the gavel. Explain, Mr. Potter. Harry takes a breath. Dumbledore was dying. He had been cursed by a horcrux, Voldemort's ring. The curse was killing him slowly. He had months to live, maybe less. He asked Professor Snape to kill him when the time came, to prevent Draco Malfoy from becoming a murderer, to maintain Snape's cover as a Death Eater. And you have evidence of this? Yes. Professor Snape gave me his memories before we thought he died. I'd like to show them to the court. Bring forth the pensieve. A massive stone basin is carried into the courtroom. Silver, ancient, etched with runes. Harry pulls a vial from his pocket. Silver strands swirl inside. He pours them into the pensieve. The surface ripples. The court will now view the memories of Severus Snape, Kingsley announces. The Wizengamot numbers stand. Approach the pensieve. One by one they lean forward, submerge their faces. The gallery watches in silence. Snape watches too, watching 50 strangers see his worst moments. His childhood, Tobias's rage, Eileen's fear, meeting Lily, the friendship, the love, the bullying, James and Sirius, the humiliation, the worst memory, mud-blood, Lily's face, the hurt, the rejection, joining the Death Eaters, the dark mark burned into his skin, overhearing the prophecy, reporting it to Voldemort, realizing it meant Lily's death, begging Dumbledore to save her, Lily's death, Harry's survival, the vow, protect the boy, of hating the boy he protected because he had Lily's eyes and James's face, Dumbledore's curse, the plan, the tower, Severus, please, the killing curse, Dumbledore falling, Snape's face in the memory anguish, not triumph, anguish. Then the final memory, the Do Patronus, after all this time, always. Some are crying, others look shell-shocked. The courtroom is utterly silent. Kingsley speaks. Does the Wizengamot require additional testimony? I have a question for Mr. Potter. Proceed, Kingsley says. The witch looks at Harry. After viewing these memories, do you believe Severus Snape is guilty of murder? Harry meets her eyes. No, I believe he's guilty of following orders. Orders given by Albus Dumbledore. Orders that saved my life and helped defeat Voldemort. Do you believe he should be punished? I believe he's already been punished. For 17 years, he lived a lie. He had no friends, no family, no peace. He was hated by everyone, including me, and he did it all to protect people who despised him. Harry's voice breaks. He doesn't deserve punishment. He deserves rest. The witch sits down. Kingsley looks at the Wizengamot. Does anyone else wish to speak? Hermione Granger stands in the gallery. I do. Kingsley nods. Miss Granger, approach the stand. Hermione walks forward. She's given Veritaserum as well. Kingsley asks, Miss Granger, you were a student at Hogwarts during Professor Snape's tenure as headmaster. What can you tell us about his actions during that time? Professor Snape protected students from the Carrows. He sent the Gryffindor sword to Bellatrix Lestrange, but it was a fake. The real sword was hidden for Harry to find. He used the Cruciatus curse on students as punishment, but he always made sure it was him, not the Carrows, because he used weaker versions. He was trying to minimize harm while maintaining his cover. How do you know this? Because I saw the scars, or rather the lack of them. Students punished by Snape recovered within days. Students punished by the Carrows were hospitalized. Thank you, Miss Granger. Hermione returns to her seat. Kingsley addresses the Wizengamot. The court has heard testimony from Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. The court has viewed Severus Snape's memories. Does the Wizengamot wish to deliberate, or shall we vote immediately? Then, one stands. We vote now. Very well. All in favor of exonerating Severus Snape of all charges? 49 hands rise. 1 abstains. Kingsley bangs the gavel. Severus Tobias Snape is hereby exonerated of all charges. Furthermore, the Wizengamot awards him the Order of Merlin, First Class, for services to the war effort. The Ministry will also grant him the Prince Estate, previously seized during Eileen Prince's death in 1981, plus 50,000 galleons in reparations for wrongful persecution. The courtroom erupts in noise. Some cheer, some boo, some just stare. Snape sits in his wheelchair, hands trembling, not from injury, from disbelief. Kingsley approaches, pins the Order of Merlin to Snape's chest, a gold medal, a purple ribbon. Congratulations, Professor, Kingsley says quietly. Snape looks up at him. I don't deserve this. Neither did half the people who've received it. But you earned it. The Wizengamot members stand, all of them. A moment of silence. Respect. Snape closes his eyes. For the first time since Lily's death, he is not a spy. He is not a traitor. He is simply free. June 15th, 1998, Ministry Atrium. After the trial. Snape is wheeled out of the courtroom. The atrium is crowded. People stare, some with gratitude, some with suspicion. Snape keeps his eyes forward. Harry appears beside him. Professor. Snape stops, looks up at him. Potter. Awkward silence. Then Harry speaks. Can we talk? Somewhere private? Snape hesitates. Then nods. There's a side room. For witnesses? Harry pushes the wheelchair. They enter a small office. Empty. Quiet. Harry closes the door. Sits across from Snape. More silence. Finally, Harry speaks. I'm sorry for thinking you were a coward, for not understanding. You had every reason to hate me. I was cruel to you. You were protecting me. Cruelty and protection are not mutually exclusive. I used you as an outlet for my hatred of your father. That was wrong. Harry looks down. My father was a bully. He was. But he changed. My mum wouldn't have married him if he hadn't. I know. Silence again. Then Snape speaks, his voice barely a whisper. I called your mother a mudblood. Harry meets his eyes. I know. I saw it. In your memories. It was the worst thing I ever said. I've regretted it every day for 20 years. She forgave you. No, she didn't. She cut me off, rightfully so. But she died protecting someone she loved. And you spent 17 years protecting someone you hated because of her. That sounds like forgiveness to me. Snape's throat tightens. He doesn't respond. Harry stands. What will you do now? I don't know. I've never lived for myself before. You should try it. I think you'd be good at it. Harry walks to the door. Pauses. Looks back. If you need anything, I owe you my life multiple times. Snape's response is barely audible. You owe me nothing, Potter. Live well. That's enough. Harry nods. Leaves. Snape sits alone in the wheelchair, staring at the Order of Merlin on his chest. A medal for bravery. He doesn't feel brave. He feels tired. But also something else. A flicker of something he hasn't felt in decades. Hope. Snape is still in St. Mungo's. The healers want him to stay another week. Monitor his recovery. He sits in his room, reading a potions journal. His right hand trembles. He has to hold the journal with both hands. A knock at the door. "Come in," he rasps. Harry Potter enters. He's holding a small package, wrapped in brown paper. "Professor, I hope I'm not disturbing you. What do you want, Potter?" Harry sits in the chair beside the bed, sets the package on the side table. "I wanted to talk, really talk. Not just awkward apologies." Snape closes the journal. "Very well, talk." "Any of it? Would you have believed me? A Death Eater telling you to trust him? Probably not." "Then you have your answer." Harry shifts in his seat. "I saw your memories. I saw everything. Yes, you loved my mother." Snape's jaw tightens. "I did. She loved your father. That must have hurt. Every day." Harry looks down at his hands. "I used to wonder what she saw in my dad. He was arrogant, a bully. He tormented you for years. He grew up. Your mother saw that. I didn't. Did you ever forgive him? No. But I understand him better. War has a way of clarifying things." "Like what?" "Like the fact that holding grudges is exhausting and pointless." Harry smiles faintly. "So you're letting it go. That's the best I can offer." Harry laughs, a short, bitter sound. "You know, I thought I'd feel different after Voldemort died. Relieved, happy, but I just feel empty." "That's normal. You spent your entire life preparing for one moment. Now that it's over, you don't know what to do with yourself. Is that how you feel?" "Yes." They sit in silence. Then Harry asks, "What will you do now? The Ministry granted me the Prince estate. My mother's family home? I suppose I'll go there. And then? I don't know, live, I suppose." "That's it? Just live? Is that not enough?" Harry thinks about this. "I guess it is." He picks up the package from the side table, hands it to Snape. "What's this?" "A gift from me and Hermione." Snape unwraps it. Inside is a book. Old. Leather-bound. Advanced Potion Making, First Edition, 1655. "We found it at Flourish and Blott's. Hermione thought you'd like it." Snape opens the book carefully. His hands shake, but he manages. The pages are yellowed. The handwriting is archaic, beautiful. "Thank you," he whispers. "You're welcome." Harry stands. "I should go. Ginny's waiting." "Potter." Harry stops. "Yes? Why are you doing this, being kind to me?" Harry thinks for a moment. "Because you deserve it, and because my mum would want me to." He leaves. Snape sits alone with the book. He opens it to the first page. In the margin, someone has written a note in faded ink. "To the student who will one day surpass me. July 1998, Spinner's End, Cokeworth." Snape stands outside the house where he grew up. It's smaller than he remembers. Grimy brick. Peeling paint. Broken shutters, the industrial town around it is decaying. Factories closed. Streets empty, this place died long before he left. He opens the door, the smell hits him immediately. Stale beer, cigarettes, rot, his father's smell. Tobias Snape died years ago, but his ghost lingers here. Snape walks through the house. The living room, the threadbare couch, the broken television, the kitchen, dirty dishes in the sink, empty bottles on the counter. His mother's kitchen, where she used to brew potions in secret. Upstairs, his childhood bedroom, barely bigger than a closet, a single bed, a rickety desk, peeling wallpaper. He sits on the bed. The mattress creaks. He looks around. This room held everything he was before Hogwarts, before Lily, before the Dark Mark, before everything. He spent 18 years here, dreaming of escape. He escaped, but the house followed him, in his nightmares, in his memories. He stands, walks back downstairs, goes to the kitchen, pulls out his wand, casts fiend fire. The cursed flame erupts, red and gold. Roaring, it consumes the kitchen, spreads to the living room. The stairs, Snape stands in the doorway, watching. The house burns, Tobias's chair, Eileen's kitchen, his childhood bedroom, all of it. Ash. He whispers, "Let the past stay buried." The house collapses. Snape turns, walks away. He doesn't look back. July 1998. Prince Manor, Yorkshire Dales. Snape apparates to the coordinates Kingsley gave him. The manor appears through the mist. 17th century stone, 12 rooms, overgrown gardens. It's beautiful, and it's falling apart. The windows are broken, the roof sags. Ivy covers the walls. Snape approaches the front door. It's locked. He taps his wand against the handle. The wards recognize him. Prince Blood. The door swings open. Inside, the manor is dark, dusty, but intact. The furniture is covered in white sheets. The floors are marble. The ceilings are high. A chandelier hangs in the entrance hall. Cobwebs dangle from it. Snape walks through the ground floor. The parlor, the dining room, the kitchen, everything frozen in time. Eileen Prince left this house in 1960 when she married Tobias. It's been empty since her death in 1981. Snape climbs the stairs to the second floor. More bedrooms, a study, a library. The library, he opens the door. Shelves line every wall, floor to ceiling, thousands of books, potions, transfiguration, charms, history. This is Eileen's collection. Snape steps inside, runs his fingers along the spines, and then he sees it. A portrait hanging above the fireplace. Eileen Prince, young, maybe 25. Before Tobias, before Snape. She's wearing a green dress. Her black hair is pulled back. Her expression is serene. As Snape approaches, the portrait's eyes move. She looks at him, blinks, speaks. "Severus, my boy, you're home." Snape freezes, his mother. He hasn't heard her voice in decades. "Mother," he whispers. Eileen smiles. "You look so much older, but I'd know you anywhere." The portrait was commissioned before I left. I wanted to leave something behind, in case I never came back. You didn't. No, I didn't. Silence. Then Eileen speaks softly. "I'm sorry, Severus, for leaving, for marrying Tobias, for everything." Snape's throat tightens. "Why did you marry him?" "I thought I loved him. He was charming, handsome. He made me feel special. He was a drunk, a brute." "I know. I realized too late." "Why didn't you leave him?" "I tried, but by then I had you, and I thought I could protect you if I stayed." "You couldn't." "I know." Snape looks away. Eileen's voice is gentle. "Did you have a good life, Severus?" "No." "I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault, wasn't it?" Snape doesn't answer. Eileen leans forward in the portrait. "Tell me what happened, please. I've been alone here for so long." Snape sits in a chair facing the portrait, and he talks. He tells her everything. Hogwarts, Lily, the Dark Mark, the spying, Dumbledore, the war, Nagini, his survival. Hours pass. Eileen listens without interrupting. When Snape finishes, she's crying. Oil paint tears on a canvas face. "You were so brave, Severus. So much braver than I ever was. I joined Voldemort because I wanted power. I got Lily killed because I was selfish. And you spent 17 years atoning for it. That's not enough. It never will be. Not to you. But maybe it can be." Snape looks at her. "How?" "By living, Severus. Not for Lily, not for Dumbledore, for you. I don't know how." "Then learn." Snape stands, walks to the window, looks out at the overgrown gardens, the Yorkshire hills beyond. This is his home now, not Spinner's End, not Hogwarts. Here he turns back to Eileen. "I'll try," she smiles. "That's all I ask." January 1999, Prince Manor. 6 months have passed. The manor is still in disrepair, but Snape is working on it. Slowly, he's hired Argus Filch. The retired Hogwarts caretaker needed work. They fix the roof together, replace the windows, clear the gardens. Filch doesn't talk much. Snape appreciates that. They work in silence. 2 broken men repairing a broken house. One afternoon, there's a knock at the door. Snape opens it. Hermione Granger stands there. She's wearing formal ministry robes, navy blue. Her hair is pulled back. "Miss Granger." Snape says, "Professor, may I come in?" "I'm no longer a professor." Old habits. He steps aside. She enters, looks around the entrance hall, the repaired chandelier, the polished floors. "You've made progress. Some. It's a beautiful home. It will be, eventually." Hermione turns to him. "I came with a proposal. The ministry wants to reform potions regulation, safety standards, ingredient sourcing, brewing protocols. We need an expert to advise. And you thought of me? I'm also a former Death Eater with permanent injuries. My hands shake, my voice is gone. I can barely brew a simple sleeping draught anymore. You don't need to brew. You need to consult, review protocols, identify flaws, recommend changes." Snape studies her. "Why are you really here, Miss Granger?" Hermione meets his eyes. Because I think you need something to do, and the ministry needs your expertise. It's mutually beneficial. Or you pity me. I respect you. There's a difference. Then he nods. Very well, I'll consult. But on my terms, I work from here. No ministry office, no public appearances. Agreed. She pulls a folder from her bag, hands it to him. These are the current regulations. Review them. Make notes. We'll meet quarterly to discuss revisions. Snape takes the folder. Quarterly meetings? Here, if that's acceptable. It is. Hermione smiles. Thank you, Professor. She turns to leave. Snape speaks. Miss Granger. She stops. Why are you doing this? Really? Hermione thinks for a moment. Because you saved my life. Multiple times. And because I think you deserve a second chance. She leaves. Snape stands alone in the entrance hall, holding the folder. A second chance. He opens it. Starts reading. April 1999. Prince Manor, Hermione returns for their first quarterly meeting. Snape has prepared notes. Pages of them. They sit in the library. Hermione reviews his work. This is excellent, detailed, thorough. You sound surprised. I'm not. You were always an exceptional teacher. When you weren't being cruel. I was cruel because I had to be. Did you? Snape hesitates. I thought I did. Dumbledore wanted me to maintain my Death Eater reputation. Cruelty was expected, especially with Neville. Snape's jaw tightens. Longbottom reminded me of myself, weak, bullied. I hated seeing it. So you bullied him? Wrong. Have you apologized? No, you should. Snape doesn't respond. They continue reviewing the notes. Hours pass. At one point, Hermione asks about the Half-Blood Prince annotations. Those modifications you made to the potions textbook, how did you develop them? Better than my blood. The potions did. I didn't. Hermione looks at him. You're still trying to prove something. What do you mean? You're consulting for the ministry, rebuilding this manor, working yourself to exhaustion. You're still trying to earn redemption. Isn't that what you wanted? A second chance? A second chance at living, not a second chance at punishing yourself? Snape is silent. Hermione stands. I should go. Same time next quarter. Professor, for what it's worth, you don't owe the world anything anymore. You've paid your debt. Try to enjoy what's left. She leaves. Snape sits alone in the library, staring at the notes. Hermione's words echo. You've paid your debt. Has he? He doesn't know July 2000. Prince Manor, Hermione's visits continue. 4 times a year. At first, they're strictly professional. But gradually, something shifts. They start discussing more than potions regulations, books, history, magic theory. Hermione asks questions. Snape answers. It's almost like teaching again, but different. She's not a student, she's a colleague. An equal, one afternoon, Hermione brings a wizard's chess set. I thought we could play. After the meeting, Snape raises an eyebrow. You want to play chess with me? Why not? I'll destroy you. We'll see. They play. Snape wins the first game, Hermione wins the second. Snape is surprised. Where did you learn to play like that? Ron taught me, and I've been practicing. Against Weasley? And others. They play a third game, Hermione wins again. Snape leans back in his chair. I underestimated you. People usually do. She smiles, Snape almost smiles back. October 2001, the Burrow. Hermione and Ron are having dinner at the Burrow. Molly Weasley serves shepherd's pie. Arthur asks about ministry work. Ron is quiet, picking at his food. After dinner, he and Hermione walk in the garden. Ron finally speaks. You're seeing Snape again next week. It's a quarterly meeting for the potions regulations. You've been doing this for 2 years. How long does it take to reform potions regulations? As long as it needs to. Ron stops walking. Hermione, he made your school years hell. He mocked you, called you an insufferable know-it-all. He deducted points from Gryffindor every chance he got. I know. So why are you spending time with him? Because he's changed. Because he saved all our lives. Because he deserves a chance at peace. He's a git. He was a git. There's a difference. Ron crosses his arms. I don't trust him. You don't have to. I do. Why? Hermione turns to face him. Because I've seen who he is now. Not who he was. And I think he's lonely and hurting and trying to figure out how to live after spending 17 years dying. That's not your responsibility, no. but it's my choice. Ron is silent. Then he sighs. Just be careful, okay? I will. Hermione kisses his cheek. Thank you for worrying, but I'm fine. He's my friend. I'll never understand that. You don't have to. November 2001, Prince Manor. Hermione arrives for the quarterly meeting. Snape notices she looks tired. Are you well, Miss Granger? I'm fine, just busy. Weasley? She blinks. How did you know? You have that look, the one people get when they're arguing with someone they love. Hermione sits down heavily. Ron doesn't understand why I keep coming here. Neither do I, frankly. Don't you? Snape sets down his notes. Miss Granger, I was cruel to you for 6 years. I dismissed your intelligence. I made you feel small. Why would you want to spend time with me? Because you're brilliant, and because you're not that person anymore. Aren't I? How do you know? Because that person wouldn't have spent 2 years writing detailed notes on potions' safety. That person wouldn't have rebuilt this manor with his own hands. That person wouldn't have admitted he was wrong about Neville. I haven't apologized to Longbottom, but you acknowledged it. That's progress. Snape is silent. Then he speaks quietly. Your friendship is unexpected, but not unwelcome. Hermione smiles. Good, because you're stuck with me now. They return to the notes, but the atmosphere has shifted. Less formal, more comfortable. At the end of the meeting, Hermione sets up the chessboard. Same wager as last time, which is, loser has to answer one personal question, honestly. Snape considers. Very well. They play. Hermione wins. Snape sighs. Ask your question. What do you do when you're alone, when I'm not here and there's no work to be done? Snape hesitates. I talk to my mother's portrait. I read. I walk the grounds. I exist. That sounds lonely. It is. You should get out more. Visit people. The only people I know either hate me or pity me. What about Harry? Potter has his own life. I won't intrude. He'd probably appreciate it. You saved his life, Severus. Multiple times. And I made his childhood miserable. That doesn't balance. Maybe it doesn't have to. Snape looks at her. What do you mean? Stop keeping score. I've been keeping score my entire life. Then maybe it's time to stop. Hermione stands, puts the chess pieces away. Same time next quarter. Yes. She walks to the door, pauses. Severus, yes, you're not alone anymore. Remember that. She disapparates. Snape sits in the library, staring at the chessboard. You're not alone anymore. He repeats the words. Tries to believe them. January 2001. Ministry of Magic. Hermione invited Snape to testify at a ministry hearing. A group of old Death Eater sympathizers are trying to block the new potions regulations. They claim the changes are unnecessary and anti-tradition. The sympathizers sneer at him. One of them speaks, Severus Snape, the traitor who killed Dumbledore. I was exonerated, Snape rasps, by a corrupt Wizengamot, by a fair trial. You're a disgrace to pure-blood society. Snape's eyes flash. I am a disgrace to nothing. I spent 17 years risking my life to stop Voldemort. What did you do? Hide? Deny your involvement? Wait for the Dark Lord to return so you could grovel at his feet again? The sympathizer goes red. How dare? I dare because I survived, because I fought, because I chose the right side when it mattered. The hearing erupts. Kingsley bangs the gavel. Order. Fuming, the hearing concludes. The new regulations are approved. Outside the courtroom, Hermione waits. That was incredible, she says. I was rude. You were honest. They walk to the apparition point. Hermione stops, turns to Snape. You're my friend, Severus. I don't say that lightly. Accept it. She disapparates. Snape stands alone in the atrium. Hermione's words echo. You're my friend. He's never had a friend. Not since Lily. He doesn't know what to do with that. But for the first time in decades, he's not alone. September 2nd, 1991. Great Hall, 8 a.m., the morning after the feast. Sunlight streams through the enchanted windows. Students fill the long house tables. Breakfast appears on golden platters. But the Great Hall buzzes with whispers. Every eye keeps darting to the Gryffindor table, to Harry Potter. The boy the Sorting Hat refused to sort for 7 minutes. Harry sits between Hermione and Neville, Ron across from them, eating toast, ignoring the stares. Everyone's looking at you, Ron says through a mouthful of eggs. They're always looking at me, Harry says quietly. I'm used to it. But the hat, Hermione starts. The hat saw something it didn't expect. Harry interrupts. That's all. What did it see? Neville asks nervously. Harry meets his eyes. Everything. Hedwig lands in front of Harry. No letter, just a knowing look. Harry strokes her feathers. Good girl. Professor McGonagall walks down the Gryffindor table, distributing class schedules. She stops at Harry, hands him his timetable. Mr. Potter, the headmaster would like to see you in his office after breakfast. Yes, Professor. McGonagall's eyes linger on him, searching. The password is acid pops. She moves on. Hermione leans close. What does Dumbledore want? To talk about last night, Harry says. About Peter. About everything. Are you going to tell him? She whispers. About the dreams. I already did. And he's either going to help me or try to control me. We'll see which. Ron looks confused. What dreams? Harry stands. Takes his bag. I'll explain later. Save me a seat in Transfiguration. He leaves the Great Hall. The whispers follow him. Headmaster's office, 8:30 a.m. The gargoyle leaps aside at the password. Harry climbs the spiral staircase, enters Dumbledore's office. The room is exactly as he remembers. Silver instruments whirring, portraits dozing, Fawkes on his perch. Dumbledore sits behind his desk, wearing purple robes, half-moon spectacles. Ah, Harry, please, sit. Harry sits. Dumbledore studies him over his glasses. How did you sleep? Better than I have in years. No nightmares? Not last night. Dumbledore nods slowly. I have been thinking about our conversation, about your visions. And I find myself in an unusual position. I do not know whether to believe you or worry for your sanity. Harry almost smiles. Both are reasonable. In these dreams of yours, what becomes of me? Harry hesitates, then decides. Truth. You die in my 6th year, June 1997. On the astronomy tower, Snape kills you with the killing curse. Silence. Fawkes trills softly. Dumbledore's expression doesn't change. I see, and this was part of a plan. Yes, you were already dying, cursed by the Gaunt Ring Horcrux. You asked Snape to kill you to save Draco's soul, to keep the Elder Wand's power from Voldemort. The Elder Wand. You have it. Took it from Grindelwald in 1945. It's in your desk drawer right now. Dumbledore goes very still, then opens the drawer, pulls out a wand, pale, knobbly, powerful. How do you know this? Because in my dreams I become the master of death. I unite all 3 hallows, the cloak, the stone, the wand, and I use them to defeat Voldemort. You speak of things that very few know. I know a lot of things, Professor. The question is, are you going to help me change the future, or are you going to stick to your original plan? Raising me to die, training me to walk into the forest, using me as your weapon against Voldemort. Dumbledore's face is grave. In your visions, I did this? You thought it was the only way. You were wrong. Was I? I'm still alive, aren't I? Harry says. I died and I came back. There's always another way. Dumbledore is silent for a long moment. Then he stands, goes to the window. What do you want from me, Harry? Partnership. Not manipulation. I need your knowledge, your resources, your political power. But I won't be your pawn. And in return, I'll save everyone, including you. Dumbledore turns. You cannot save everyone. Watch me. Their eyes lock. Old wizard, young soldier. Finally, Dumbledore smiles faintly. Very well, Harry. We will work together. But you must trust me to guide you, and you must trust me to make my own choices. Agreed. Dumbledore returns to his desk. Now, about Severus Snape. Harry's expression hardens. What about him? You mentioned he kills me. That implies a certain relationship. He's your spy. Has been since my mother died. He's been risking his life for 17 years to protect me. Because he loved Lily. Yes. And you trust him? No, Harry says. But I understand him. And I know he'll do anything to keep me alive. That makes him useful. Useful, Dumbledore repeats. An interesting word. He saved my life more times than I can count. He's also the reason I spent 7 years hating him. I'm not ready to forgive, but I am ready to work with him. I see. And how do you propose we approach Severus? We show him the truth, the memories from my dreams, his future, his death, his redemption, knowing his own fate. He deserves to know, and we need him on our side, fully, not as your spy, as our ally. When? Today? After classes, I need to talk to him alone. Dumbledore nods slowly. Very well. I will arrange it. But Harry? What? Harry stands. Is that all, Professor? One more thing. The Philosopher's Stone. Harry stops. What about it? It is currently hidden in the castle, protected by various enchantments. I assume your dreams showed you this. Yes. Quirrell tries to steal it in June. Voldemort possesses him. I stop them both. And you propose we move it, destroy it? I propose we end the threat now, before Quirrell has a chance. Before anyone gets hurt. Nicholas will not be pleased. Nicholas has lived 600 years. He's had a good run. Dumbledore almost smiles. You are very pragmatic for an 11-year-old. I'm not 11. Not really. No. I suppose you're not. Dumbledore waves his hand. Go to class, Harry. We will discuss the stone later. For now, focus on being a student. I'll try. Harry leaves. As the door closes, Dumbledore sits back in his chair, looks at Fawkes. What have I done, old friend? What manner of child have I placed this burden upon? Fawkes trills, soft, mournful. Dumbledore closes his eyes. Defense against the Dark Arts classroom, 2 p.m. Professor Quirrell stands at the front of the classroom, pale, nervous, purple turban wrapped around his head. Harry sits in the back row, next to Hermione. Ron on her other side, his scar tingles. The horcrux fragment inside him recognizes Voldemort, but Harry's mental wall holds firm. Fragment as prisoner, not master. Today we will be studying B-Basic Defensive Casseurs. Quirrell stutters. The D-disarming charm. Expelliarmus. Wand raised. Voice shaking. Expelliarmus. A jet of red light hits a practice dummy. The dummy's wand flies across the room. Now, pair up. Practice on each other. G, gently. The class pairs off. Harry and Hermione face each other. Ready? Hermione asks. Always. She raises her wand. Expelliarmus. The spell is weak. Barely formed. Harry lets it hit. Doesn't resist. His wand flies from his hand. Hermione grins. I did it! Good. Now defend. Harry raises his hand. No wand. Wandless Accio. His wand flies back to his palm. Hermione's eyes widen. How are you doing that? Practice. Quirrell appears beside them. Mr. Potter, what are you doing? Retrieving my wand, Professor? Without speaking? Without a wand in hand? Is that against the rules? Quirrell stares at him. Behind the nervous facade, Harry sees it. The flicker. Voldemort watching. His scar burns. No, it's impressive. F5 points to Gryffindor. Quirrell moves away. Harry exhales slowly. Hermione leans close. Harry, your scar. I know. It's bleeding. Harry touches his forehead. His fingers come away red. It does that around him? Around Quirrell? Around what's hiding under his turban. Hermione goes pale. You don't mean... I do, but not here, not now. He wipes the blood away. Quirrell is watching from the front of the classroom. Harry meets his eyes. Doesn't flinch. Voldemort's presence recoils. The fragment in Harry's scar pushes back. Two pieces of the same soul, rejecting each other. Class ends. The students file out. Harry lingers, waits until the room is empty except for Quirrell. Professor, nervous? Yes, Mr. Potter. I wanted to thank you. For teaching us, defense is important. I have a feeling we're going to need it. Quirrell's expression flickers. For just a moment, the stutter disappears. Indeed, Mr. Potter. Indeed you will. Was there something else? No, Professor. That's all. Harry leaves. In the empty classroom, Quirrell stands alone. The turban shifts. A voice hisses from the back of his head. That boy knows something. Watch him carefully. Yes, Master. The classroom is empty except for two people. Harry Potter, Severus Snape. Snape stands by his desk, arms crossed, black robes billowing even in stillness. His expression is cold. Controlled fury. Sit, Potter. Harry sits. Snape walks around him, circling. The headmaster informs me you requested this meeting. Why? Because we need to talk. About the future. About Lily. About everything. Snape goes very still. You will not speak my mother's name. Your mother? Harry looks up. You mean my mother. Lily Evans. Your best friend. The woman you loved. The woman you got killed. Snape's wand is at Harry's throat in an instant. Do not test me, boy. Harry doesn't move. Doesn't flinch. Go ahead. Curse me. Prove Dumbledore wrong. Prove that all your years protecting me were a lie. I have protected you because I owed a debt. You protected me because you loved her, and because you couldn't save her. So you saved me instead. Snape's hand trembles. How dare you? I know everything, Professor. I know you were a Death Eater. I know you told Voldemort about the prophecy. I know you begged him to spare her. I know you went to Dumbledore when he killed her anyway. Snape lowers his wand, steps back. How? I told you. I have dreams, visions, of the future, of the past, of everything. Legilamancy. Isn't this? Harry interrupts. You're welcome to check. I'm not hiding anything. Not from you. Snape stares at him, then raises his wand. Legilimens. Harry doesn't resist. Opens his mind. Shows him. Snape's memories flood Harry's consciousness. The Shrieking Shack. Nagini's strike. The blood. Harry kneeling. Taking the memories. The pensieve. The prince's tale. Snape as a child. Watching Lily from the playground. The friendship. The Hogwarts years. The growing rift. Mudblood. Always. 17 years of protecting Harry in the shadows. The astronomy tower. Dumbledore's death. The final year. The Carrows. The resistance. The shack again. The death. The memory's end. Snape staggers back. Drops his wand. Falls into a chair. His face is white. Shocked. That was your future. Our future. The one I'm trying to change. Snape can't speak. Harry stands. Walks to him. Kneels so they're at eye level. I hated you for 7 years. You mocked me, insulted my father, made me feel worthless. And then you died saving me. And I saw everything, and I understood. You cannot possibly. I forgive you. For all of it. For telling Voldemort about the prophecy. For getting my mother killed. For being a Death Eater. For hating me. I forgive you. You shouldn't. I know. But I do. Because you spent 17 years trying to make it right. Because you died protecting me. Because you loved her when no one else did. Snape's eyes glisten. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Probably not. But you have it anyway. Harry stands. Now, I need your help. I'm going to destroy Voldemort's horcruxes. All of them. I'm going to end this war before it starts, and I can't do it without you. Why would I help you? Because this time, you get to do it right. Not as Dumbledore's spy, not as a double agent, as my ally. Snape looks up at him. This 11-year-old boy with eyes too old, with knowledge no child should have. What do you need? I need you to teach me occlumency, real occlumency, not the half-hearted lessons you gave me in 5th year. I need to shield my mind completely. Why? Because Voldemort can see through my scar. He can possess me if I'm not careful. I need to block him out completely. Snape nods slowly. When do we start? Tonight. Come to my office at 9. And Potter? Thank you. Harry almost smiles. You're welcome, Professor. He leaves. Snape sits alone in the empty classroom. For the first time in 17 years, the weight on his shoulders feels lighter. October 31st, 1991. 3rd floor corridor, 11 p.m. Halloween night. 10 years to the day since Voldemort killed the Potters. 10 years since Snape's world ended. But tonight, things are different. Harry, Hermione, and Ron stand in front of the locked door, the one Dumbledore warned students away from. This is mad, Ron whispers. We're going to get expelled. We're going to save lives, Harry says. The troll is coming. Krill is going to release it as a distraction. We're going to stop him before he reaches the stone. Because I've lived this night before, in my dreams. In the other timeline, and this time, I'm changing it. He points his wand at the lock. Alahomora, a massive 3-headed dog fills the space. Fluffy, Cerberus, guardian of the stone. All three heads snarl. Harry raises his hand. Wandless magic. Tier 2, locomotor. A harp in the corner rises into the air, plays itself. Soft music fills the corridor. Fluffy's eyes droop. All 6 of them. The dog slumps. Asleep. Bloody hell. Ron breathes. Come on. They climb through the trapdoor beneath Fluffy's paws. Drop into darkness. Land on something soft. Squishy. Devil's snare. The plant writhes. Wraps around them. Hermione screams. Stop struggling, Harry shouts. It hates light. He raises his wand. Lumos solum. The devil's snare recoils. Releases them. They drop to the floor below. Run down a corridor. Enter a room full of flying keys. Thousands of them. Fluttering like birds, an old broomstick leans against the wall. There, Harry points. The silver one with the crumpled wing. He mounts the broom. Takes off. The keys swarm. Attacking, but Harry has spent 7 years as Gryffindor Seeker, spent hours flying from Death Eaters, spent a lifetime in the air. He catches the key in 30 seconds, lands, unlocks the door. They run through, into a room with a giant chessboard. We have to play to get across, Harry says. Ron, you're up. Ron stares. Me, you're the best chess player I know. You can do this. Ron swallows. Nods, steps onto the board, takes the place of a black knight. Harry, Hermione take the castle positions. They do. The white pieces move first. Ron counters. Brilliant. Strategic piece after piece falls. The game narrows. Finally, Ron sees it. The winning move. But it requires sacrifice. Harry, when I move, the queen will take me. You'll be free to checkmate. No, Harry says. There has to be another way. There isn't. Do it. Ron moves. The White Queen glides forward, strikes Ron's knight with her stone arm. Ron falls. Unconscious, Harry runs forward, calls checkmate. The White King drops his sword. The path opens. Hermione, stay with Ron. Get him to the hospital wing. The mirror of Erised stands in the center, and in front of it, Professor Quirrell. No stutter now, no nervous facade, just cold certainty. Potter. How convenient. Harry stops. It's over, Quirrell. I know what you're planning. I know who's under your turban. Do you now? He reaches up, unwraps the turban, turns around on the back of his head, a face, pale, serpentine, red eyes, Voldemort, Harry Potter. The voice is high, cold. We meet at last. Harry's scar explodes in pain, but he doesn't flinch. Tom Riddle, or do you prefer Voldemort? Or should I call you the sad little orphan who couldn't accept death? Voldemort's eyes flash, insolent boy. Pathetic ghost. Quirrell, kill him. Quirrell raises his wand. Harry is faster. Wandless, Tier 3. Expelliarmus. Quirrell's wand flies across the room. Stupefy. Quirrell dodges. Dives for his wand. Harry raises both hands. Pushes Lily's protection to the surface. Lily's sacrificial magic, her love, her blood, the magic his mother died to give him. He runs forward, grabs Quirrell's face. Skin meets skin. Quirrell screams. His flesh burns, smokes. Voldemort shrieks. Fool, let him go. But Quirrell can't. Harry's hands are locked on him. Lily's magic burns through Voldemort's possession. The fragment of soul can't exist in contact with her love. Quirrell's body crumbles, turns to ash. Voldemort's shade rips free, screams, flees through the wall. Gone. Harry collapses. The room spins. Footsteps running. Dumbledore appears. Snape behind him. Harry! Dumbledore kneels. What have you done? Harry looks up at him, smiles weakly. Changed the future. The stone is safe. Quirrell is dead. Voldemort is gone. 8 months early. He passes out. Hospital wing, November 1st, 1991. Morning. Harry wakes to sunlight. Madame Pomfrey bustles around his bed. Ah, awake at last. Gave us quite a scare, Mr. Potter. How long? 12 hours. You suffered magical exhaustion, complete depletion of your core. You're lucky to be alive. Harry sits up, winces. Every muscle aches. The others? And you, young man, are the talk of the school. Great. The door opens. Dumbledore enters. Snape behind him. Harry, may we speak? Madame Pomfrey huffs. 5 minutes. He needs rest. She leaves. Dumbledore sits beside the bed. You destroyed the stone. I did. Nicholas will not be pleased. Nicholas has had 600 years. He'll understand. Dumbledore actually smiles. He does, actually. I spoke with him this morning. He agrees it was time. And Quirrell? Dead. His body turned to ash when Voldemort fled. The shade escaped. But he's weakened, formless. It will take him years to regain strength. Years we'll use to destroy his horcruxes. Dumbledore nods. Snape speaks. His voice is quiet, respectful. Potter, what you did last night was foolish, reckless, and extraordinarily brave. Harry looks at him. Thank you, Professor. Do not make a habit of it. My heart cannot take the strain. The corner of Snape's mouth twitches, almost a smile. Dumbledore stands. Rest, Harry. When you're recovered, we have much to discuss. The horcruxes, the future, everything. Yes, sir. Stares at the ceiling. 1 threat down. 5 more to go. But for now, he's done enough. For now, he can rest. June 1992, end of first year. Harry sits in a compartment with Hermione, Ron, and Neville. The countryside rolls past. So, Ron says, first year, you defeated you-know-who. Again, saved the Philosopher's Stone, got Professor Quirrell killed, and somehow didn't get expelled. I had help. Still, pretty mental. Ron, don't be insensitive. What? I'm complimenting him. Neville smiles. It was a good year, even with all the, near-death experiences. Next year will be better, Harry says. How do you know? Because I'm going to make sure of it. The train continues south, toward London, toward summer, toward the Dursleys. But Harry isn't worried. He has allies now. Dumbledore, Snape, his friends. And he has a plan. Summer at the Dursleys will be brief. Then Diagon Alley. Flourish and blots. Where Lucius Malfoy will try to slip a certain diary into Ginny Weasley's cauldron. And Harry will be waiting. August 1992, Flourish and Blots book signing. The bookshop is packed. Gilderoy Lockhart sits at a table, signing copies of his latest book, grinning at the cameras. Harry stands in the corner, watching. Hermione is fawning over Lockhart. Ron is rolling his eyes. The Weasley family is here. All of them, including Ginny, and there, Lucius Malfoy, platinum hair, walking stick, cold smile. He approaches the Weasleys, Arthur specifically. Arthur Weasley. What a pleasure. The 2 men exchange barbed pleasantries. Harry watches, waits. There, Lucius reaches for Ginny's cauldron, casual, smooth, a black diary in his hand, about to drop it in. Harry moves. Tier 2 wandless magic. Accio, the diary flies from Lucius's hand into Harry's. Everyone freezes. Lucius's face goes white, then red. Potter, that is mine. Really? Harry examines the diary. T.M. Riddle. Your initials? Lucius's jaw tightens. A family heirloom. Return it. Now. I don't think so. I think I'll keep it. For safekeeping. He tucks it into his bag. Arthur Weasley is watching. Suspicious. Lucius, what were you doing near my daughter's things? I was simply... He was trying to plant this. Harry holds up the diary. Dark magic. Cursed. Probably meant to possess whoever wrote in it. Gasps around the shop. Lucius's face is stone. Baseless accusations from a child. Then you won't mind if we have it tested. The Ministry has ways of detecting dark artifacts. Arthur steps forward, angry now. Is this true, Lucius? Were you trying to curse my daughter? Of course not, Mr. Malfoy. Dumbledore's voice. Everyone turns. The headmaster stands in the doorway, calm. But his eyes are ice. I believe Harry's suggestion is wise. The Ministry should examine this diary. I'm certain it will prove illuminating. Lucius realizes he's caught. He turns, stalks out of the shop, throws one final glare at Harry. This isn't over, Potter? Yes, it is. Lucius disappears. The shop exhales. Arthur turns to Harry. Thank you. I don't know what would have happened if, shaking, Molly Weasley hugs her daughter tight. Harry hands the diary to Dumbledore. Another horcrux. That's 2 down. Dumbledore nods. Indeed, though I suspect Mr. Malfoy will not be pleased. I'm counting on it. September 1992. Start of second year, platform 9 and 3/4. Again, Harry boards the Hogwarts Express. Hermione and Ron with him. They find a compartment. Sit down. So, Ron says, second year, think it'll be as mental as the first? Harry smiles. Absolutely not. This year is going to be boring, safe, normal. You really believe that? I'm going to make it that way. The train pulls away from the station. Harry watches London disappear, thinks about the Chamber of Secrets below the school, the basilisk sleeping in the pipes. October 1992. Second floor girls' bathroom, midnight. Harry stands in front of the sinks. Alone, the bathroom is cold. Wet, moaning Myrtle's domain. But tonight, Myrtle is quiet, watching from her stall with translucent eyes. You're him, she whispers. The one who can talk to snakes. Yes. Are you going to open it? The chamber? Yes, but not to hurt anyone, to make peace. Harry steps to the sink with the serpent carved on the tap, takes a breath, speaks in Parseltongue. Open. The sink glows, shudders, slides aside, revealing a pipe, massive, descending into darkness. I need to go down, Harry hisses. The pipe responds. Ancient magic recognizing Slytherin's air. A stone staircase forms inside the pipe. Harry descends. Down, down into the earth. The staircase opens into a tunnel, massive, lined with serpent carvings. Harry walks forward. His footsteps echo. At the end, a circular door, covered in serpents. Harry speaks. Open. Stone pillars rising to a ceiling lost in shadow. A statue of Salazar Slytherin at the far end. And in the center of the chamber, movement. Scales massive, emerald green, the basilisk. 60 feet long, thick as an oak tree, eyes closed. Harry keeps his eyes down, looking at the floor. Greetings, Hair of Slytherin, the basilisk hisses. Greetings, guardian of the chamber, Harry responds. Why have you come? To make peace. To ask for your help. The basilisk's head lowers, eyes still closed. The last heir commanded me to kill. To purge the unworthy. You seek something different? I seek protection. For all the students, not just pure bloods. All of them. You are different, not like the boy who bound me. The boy who bound you was Tom Riddle. He became a monster. I am not him. No, you are not. The basilisk shifts. Massive coils moving. What would you have me do? Guard the castle. Protect the cess students. Hunt dark creaturesses that threaten this place, but never kill without my command. And in return, food, safety, respect. You will not be a weapon. You will be a guardian. The basilisk considers this, then bows its head. I accept, young heir. I am tired of being used for evil. I will guard. Thank you. Harry turns to leave. Pauses. One more thing. The Riddle boy left a piece of his soul in a book. A diary. It's already destroyed. But if you sense other dark objects in this castle, tell me. I will. Harry climbs back up the pipe, emerges in the bathroom. Moaning Myrtle is waiting. Did it eat you? She asks. No. We talked. You talked to the monster. It's not a monster, just misunderstood. Myrtle actually smiles. You're strange, Harry Potter. I know. He leaves the bathroom. Mission accomplished. The chamber is neutralized. The basilisk is an ally. No students will be petrified. No Ginny possessed. No deaths. Another timeline change. Another life saved. December 1992. Wizengamot Chambers. Sirius Black's trial. The chamber is packed. Witches and wizards in plum robes fill the benches. At the center, Sirius Black. Thin, gaunt, wild black hair. Hollow eyes from 12 years in Azkaban. But he's here, alive, free. Because of Peter Pettigrew, the traitor sits in a cage beside the defendant's chair, bound, gagged, trembling. Minister Cornelius Fudge presides. Dumbledore sits as chief warlock. We are here to review the case of Sirius Orion Black, Fudge announces. Accused of betraying James and Lily Potter to he who must not be named. Accused of murdering Peter Pettigrew and 12 muggles. Accused of being a Death Eater. He looks at Dumbledore. Chief Warlock, you have new evidence? We do. Dumbledore stands. In September of this year, Peter Pettigrew was discovered alive, captured by Harry Potter, held under veritaserum, and confessed to all crimes for which Sirius Black was imprisoned. Impossible, someone shouts. Pettigrew is dead. He is not, Dumbledore says. He is an unregistered animagus. He hid as a rat for 12 years, living with the Weasley family, undetected. We have his confession, Dumbledore continues. Recorded under veritaserum, we have his memories, extracted via pensieve. We have testimony from Sirius Black, and we have the testimony of Harry Potter himself. Fudge looks uncertain. This is highly irregular. Justice delayed is justice denied, Minister. Dumbledore says, Sirius Black spent 12 years in Azkaban without trial. The least we can do is hear the evidence. Fudge nods reluctantly. Very well. Present the memories. Silver strands of memory poured in. The Wizengamot watches. Peter's confession plays out for all to see, his voice, flat, emotionless under veritaserum. I was the secret keeper. I betrayed James and Lily to Voldemort. I killed 12 muggles. I framed Sirius. I cut off my finger and transformed. I hid as a rat for 12 years. The chamber is silent. When the memory ends, Fudge looks ill. This is extraordinary. This is truth, Dumbledore says. Sirius Black is innocent. Peter Pettigrew is guilty. Justice must be served. Fudge stands. The Wizengamot will vote. All in favor of exonerating Sirius Black? Hands rise. Almost unanimous. All opposed? 3 hands, die-hard, pure-blood traditionalists. The motion carries. Sirius Orion Black is hereby declared innocent of all charges. Peter Pettigrew is sentenced to life imprisonment in Azkaban for betrayal, murder, and conspiracy. Can't process. 12 years of hell. 12 years of Dementors. 12 years of believing he failed James and Lily. And now, freedom, Dumbledore approaches. Kneels beside Sirius's chair. Breathe, Sirius. It's over. You're free. Free, Sirius whispers. I'm free. Tears stream down his face. In the gallery, Harry watches. Beside him, Hermione, Ron, the Weasleys. Remus Lupin stands in the back, crying openly. His best friend, alive, free, vindicated. Sirius looks up, sees Harry. Their eyes meet. Harry nods once. Sirius mouths, "Thank you." Harry mouths back, "Welcome home." The house is dark, dusty, covered in cobwebs. Sirius stands in the entrance hall, Remus beside him. Harry, Hermione, and Ron behind them. "It's a mess," Sirius says, "but it's mine." He walks forward. Into the drawing room, the portrait of Walburga Black hangs on the wall. Silent, permanent sticking charm. Sirius stares at his mother's painted face. "Hello, Mother. I'm home." The portrait's eyes open. "Blood traitor," she shrieks. "Disgrace to the family. Filth. Scum." Sirius raises his wand. Silencio permanente. The portrait's mouth keeps moving, but no sound emerges. "Better," Sirius says. He turns to the others. "This place needs work. A lot of work. But it can be a home, a headquarters. A safe place. Headquarters for what?" Ron asks. "For us," Harry says. "For the Resistance. For the people who are going to stop Voldemort before he comes back." Sirius looks at Harry. "You really think we can do this?" "I know we can. I've seen the future. I know what's coming, and I know how to stop it." "What do you need, Harry?" "I need a base. I need allies. I need people I can trust, and I need time. We have 3 years before Voldemort makes his move. 3 years to destroy his horcruxes. 3 years to prepare. Then let's get started," Sirius says. He claps his hands. "Creature, Master called. Creature, we're cleaning this place. Top to bottom. Remove every dark artifact. Repair every room. Make this house livable." "Master is a blood traitor." "Creature," Harry's voice is sharp. "Your master is Sirius Black, the head of the noble and most ancient house of Black. You will obey him, and you will do it with respect." Creature looks at Harry, sees something in his eyes. Authority, power. Creature obeys. The elf snaps his fingers. Cleaning begins. Over the next 3 months, 12 Grimmauld Place transforms. The walls are scrubbed, the furniture repaired, the dark artifacts removed and destroyed. Sirius redecorates, removes every trace of his parents' pure-blood fanaticism. By April 1993, The house is unrecognizable. Warm, bright, safe. Remus moves in, takes the second-floor bedroom. Harry visits every weekend. Flu powder from Hogwarts. Hermione and Ron join him. The house becomes headquarters for the Order of the Phoenix. Reborn. Not to fight a war. To prevent one June 1993. End of second year. The Hogwarts Express pulls away from the station. Harry sits with his friends. Hermione, Ron, Neville, Ginny. 2 years down, Ron says. And you've defeated Voldemort twice, freed an innocent man, and made friends with a 1,000-year-old snake. When you put it that way, it sounds impressive, Harry says. It is impressive, Hermione says. Harry, you've changed everything. Not everything. Not yet. What's next? Neville asks. Harry looks out the window. Third year. Remus is teaching defense. Sirius is free. The Dementors won't come to Hogwarts because there's no escaped prisoner to hunt. It's going to be the first normal year we've had. Really. The train continues south. Harry closes his eyes. In his mind, he counts. 2 horcruxes destroyed. The diary, the scar fragment suppressed. 4 more to find. The ring, the locket, the cup, the diadem. 3 years until Voldemort's resurrection attempt. 3 years to end this. He can do this. He will do this. Everyone lives. That's the promise. September 1993, start of third year, platform 9 3/4. The barrier shimmers. Harry steps through onto platform 9 3/4. But this time, he's not alone. Sirius Black walks beside him, free, clean-shaven, wearing proper robes, looking more alive than he has in 12 years. Remus Lupin follows, carrying Harry's trunk, the new defense against the dark arts professor. Students stare, whisper, that's Sirius Black. But he was in Azkaban. He was innocent. Don't you read the papers? Sirius ignores them, focuses on Harry. You have everything you need? Yes. And you'll write, every week. And you'll be careful. Sirius. Harry puts a hand on his godfather's arm. I'm going to be fine. Remus will be teaching. You're free. Everything is going according to plan. Sirius takes a breath. I know. I missed 12 years of your life. I'm not ready to let you go again. You're not letting me go. I'll be home for Christmas, and you can visit Hogsmeade weekends. Sirius smiles. Right, yes. Of course. He hugs Harry, fierce, tight. Be safe, Harry, please. I will. Sirius and the Weasleys wave back. Inside the compartment, Hermione is already reading. Ron is eating chocolate frogs. Your godfather is very protective, Hermione observes. He's making up for lost time. Fair enough. The train journey is peaceful. No Dementors, no terror, no fear. Because there's no escaped prisoner to hunt. Because Sirius is free. Harry leans back, closes his eyes. Third year, the year everything was supposed to go wrong. But this time? This time it's just school. October 1993, Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. Professor Lupin stands at the front of the classroom. Relaxed, confident, wearing shabby but clean robes. Today we're going to practice the Patronus charm, he announces. It's advanced magic, usually taught in 6th or 7th year, but I think you're ready. The incantation is Expecto Patronum. You need to focus on your happiest memory. Channel that feeling, let it fill you completely. He demonstrates, raises his wand. Expecto Patronum, ethereal, beautiful. It runs around the classroom before fading. Applause. Now, pair up, practice. Harry partners with Hermione. She goes first. Expecto Patronum. A thin wisp of silver emerges. Formless, but it's a start. Excellent, Miss Granger. Keep practicing. Harry's turn. He raises his wand. Thinks of his happiest memory, not from this timeline, from the future. The moment Voldemort died, the moment he knew everyone was safe. Expecto Patronum. A brilliant silver stag erupts from his wand. Fully corporeal, magnificent, it charges across the classroom. The entire class stops, stares. Remus's eyes widen. Harry, that's extraordinary. A full Patronus, on your first try. I had a very strong memory. The stag fades. Remus approaches, speaks quietly so only Harry can hear. That's a stag. Like your father's animagus form. I know. How could you know that? Because I know a lot of things, Professor. Things I shouldn't know. But do. Remus studies him. Your visions, Sirius told me. Did he tell you everything? Enough. Enough to know you're carrying a burden no child should have. I'm not a child, not anymore. Remus's expression softens. No, I suppose you're not. But Harry, if you ever need to talk, I will, thank you, Professor. Class ends, Harry gathers his things. As he leaves, Remus calls out, Harry? Yes, thank you. That means more than you know. December 1993. Dumbledore's office. The Horcrux discussion. Snow falls outside the windows. Harry sits across from Dumbledore. Snape stands by the fireplace. Remus and Sirius in chairs nearby. This is the War Council. We've destroyed 2 Horcruxes, Dumbledore says. The diary, and we've confirmed the scar fragment is suppressed. That leaves 4, the ring, the locket, the cup, and the diadem. 5, Harry corrects. Nagini, Voldemort's snake. She becomes a Horcrux in 1994. After his resurrection, we're going to destroy the Horcruxes first. All of them. Dumbledore nods. The ring is hidden at the Gaunt Shack, Little Hangleton. I know where it is, Harry says. It's also cursed, a killing curse on anyone who wears it. You die trying to put it on in the original timeline. Dumbledore's eyes sharpen. I see. Then we approach it carefully. We destroy it without touching it. Basilisk venom or fiend fire. The locket? Sirius asks. In a cave? Protected by Inferi and a poison potion. Regulus Black tried to destroy it in 1979. He died in the attempt. Sirius goes pale. Regulus tried to betray Voldemort? He did. He was a hero. He just didn't survive long enough for anyone to know. Then we'll finish what he started. The cup? Remus asks. Bellatrix Lestrange's vault at Gringotts, heavily protected. Difficult but manageable, Dumbledore says. And the diadem? Hogwarts. The room of requirement, hidden in a pile of junk. Right under our noses, Snape mutters. Exactly. We have 3 years before Voldemort attempts to return. 3 years to find and destroy 4 Horcruxes. Can it be done? It has to be, Harry says. Because if we don't, the graveyard happens. Cedric dies. Voldemort returns. And the war begins. Then we begin immediately, Dumbledore says. After Christmas, we retrieve the ring. In the spring, the locket. Summer, the cup. And we'll secure the diadem before the school year ends. What about me, Harry asks. What do I do? You continue your education, you prepare, and when the time comes, you fight. I've been fighting my whole life. I know, Dumbledore says quietly, and I'm sorry for that. But this fight will end. I promise you that. June 1994, the Gaunt Shack, Little Hangleton. The shack is a ruin. Collapsed roof, overgrown weeds, a dead snake nailed to the door. Harry, Dumbledore, and Snape stand outside. The ring is inside, Harry says, probably in a box, hidden under the floorboards. And the curse, Snape asks, triggers on contact, a killing curse bound to the ring itself. Dumbledore nods. Then we don't touch it. Accio Gaunt Ring. Nothing happens. Warded against summoning. Snape observes, then we go in, carefully. They enter the shack. The floor is rotten. The air smells of decay. Dumbledore waves his wand. Floorboards lift away. There, a small wooden box. Inside, a gold ring. A black stone set in it. The Resurrection Stone. There, Harry points. Don't touch it. Dumbledore levitates the box into the air, carries it outside, sets it on the ground at a safe distance. Severus, the venom. Harvested from the chamber with Harry's permission, he uncorks it, tips it onto the ring. The venom hisses, smokes. The ring screams. A horrible, inhuman sound. Black smoke pours from the stone, then silence. The ring cracks. The stone goes dull. The Horcrux is destroyed. 3 down, Harry says. 2 to go before the school year ends, Dumbledore says. Well done. August 1994. The cave. Horcrux locket retrieval. The cave is dark. Cold seawater crashes against the rocks. Harry, Dumbledore, Snape, Sirius, and Remus stand at the entrance. This is where Voldemort brought the orphans, Harry says. Where he tortured them. Where he hid the locket. And where Regulus died. Sirius says quietly. Yes, they enter. The cave opens into a vast cavern. A black lake in the center. An island in the middle. We have to cross the lake, Harry says. But it's filled with Inferi, the dead. Lovely, Sirius mutters, And on the island, there's a basin, filled with poison. You have to drink it to reveal the locket. I'll drink it, Dumbledore says. No, Harry says. I will. Harry, I've done it before. I know what to expect, and I can survive it. Absolutely not, Sirius says. You're 14. I'm not 14. I'm 31, and I've drunk that poison once already. Let me do this. Then nods. Very well, but we'll be ready to intervene if necessary. They conjure a boat, magical, designed to carry only one living person. But Harry knows the trick. The boat counts the number of living souls, not bodies. He climbs in alone, crosses the lake. The Inferi don't stir. He's only one person, the enchantment allows it. He reaches the island, the basin glows with eerie green light. Harry picks up the shell beside it, starts drinking. The poison is agony, burning, freezing. Hallucinations, he sees his parents dying, sees Cedric fall, sees Sirius through the veil. But he keeps drinking, shell after shell, until the basin is empty. The locket appears at the bottom. Harry grabs it, collapses. Harry, Sirius's voice, distant. Fire erupts across the lake. Dumbledore's fiend fire, controlled, precise, burning the Inferi that rise from the water. The boat returns, Harry inside. Unconscious, Sirius pulls him out, holds him. Is he breathing? Snape checks. Yes. Barely, the poison is in his system. We need to get him to St. Mungo's. No, Remus says. Grimmauld Place, safer. They disappear it. 12 Grimmauld Place, recovery. Harry wakes in a bed, soft, warm, safe. Sirius sits beside him, holding his hand. Harry, thank Merlin. Did we get it? We got it. The locket. It's destroyed. Fiend fire. Burned to ash. Harry exhales. 4 down, 1 to go. The diadem. Yes, Harry. Sirius's voice is strained. You can't keep doing this, risking yourself. You're a child. I'm not a child. I'm a soldier, and I'm doing what needs to be done. But at what cost? At any cost, because if I don't, you all die. Fred dies, Remus dies, Tonks, Colin, 50 others. I've seen it, I've lived it, and I won't let it happen again. Sirius's eyes fill with tears. You shouldn't have to carry this, but I do, so let me. Sirius nods, wipes his eyes. All right, but you're not doing it alone. Not anymore. Thank you. May 1995, Hogwarts, the room of requirement. Harry walks past the blank wall on the 7th floor. 3 times, thinking, I need the place where everything is hidden. A door appears. He enters. The room of requirement in its junk form. Mountains of broken furniture, lost objects, centuries of discarded things. And somewhere in here, Ravenclaw's diadem. Harry closes his eyes, remembers. In the original timeline, he found it on a bust, a stone head wearing the diadem like a crown. He walks through the junk, searching. There, the bust, the diadem resting on top. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. Harry raises his wand, doesn't touch it. Incendio. Fiend fire. The diadem burns, screams. The horcrux dies. Harry extinguishes the flames before they spread. The diadem is ash. 5 down, Harry whispers. 0 to go. All the horcruxes destroyed, except the one in his scar. But that can wait. For now, Voldemort is mortal. For now, they've won. June 1995, the Triwizard Tournament that wasn't the Goblet of Fire sits in the Great Hall. Students from Bose Batons and Durmstrang fill the benches. Dumbledore stands before the goblet. And now the champions. The goblet flares. A piece of parchment flies out. The Durmstrang champion Victor Crumb. Applause. Another parchment. The Bose Batons champion Fleur Delacour. More applause. The final parchment. The Hogwarts champion Cedric Diggory. The Great Hall erupts. The goblet goes dark. No 4th name. No Harry Potter. Because Harry made sure of it. He never went near the goblet. Never let Barty Crouch Jr. get close enough to enter his name. And Barty Crouch Jr. himself, currently in Azkaban, arrested 3 months ago when Harry accidentally revealed that Mad-Eye Moody teaching at Hogwarts was actually a Death Eater in disguise. The real Moody is teaching. Gruff, paranoid, but real. And Barty Crouch Jr. never got the chance to put Harry's name in the goblet. Never got the chance to turn the Triwizard Cup into a portkey. Never got the chance to deliver Harry to Voldemort. The tournament proceeds. 3 tasks, 3 champions, no graveyard, no resurrection, no Cedric's death. When the final task ends and Cedric Diggory holds the Triwizard Cup high, alive and victorious, Harry exhales, another life saved, another tragedy prevented. August 1995, Dumbledore's office. The final Horcrux. Harry sits across from Dumbledore. Sirius and Remus stand nearby. Snape by the fireplace. All the external Horcruxes are destroyed, Dumbledore says. The diary, the ring, the locket, the cup, the diadem. Only one remains. The one in my scar, Harry says. Yes. And we have a plan? We do. Severus has been researching. There is a way to remove a Horcrux from a living host without killing them. Snape steps forward. It requires a controlled death and resurrection. You die. The Horcrux dies with you. But you are anchored to life by another object. The Resurrection Stone, Harry says. Precisely. You hold the stone when you die. It acts as an anchor. Your soul remains tethered. After the Horcrux is expelled, we revive you with phoenix tears. Fawkes, Dumbledore says. The phoenix trills from his perch. When? Harry asks. Tonight, if you're ready. I'm ready. I've died before. I can do it again. Sirius grabs his shoulder. Harry, you don't have to. Yes, I do. This is the last piece. After this, Voldemort is completely mortal. After this, we've won. Sirius's face is anguished. I can't watch you die again. You won't, because I'm coming back. The ritual. That night, they perform the ritual in the Room of Requirement. Harry lies on a stone altar, the Resurrection Stone in his hand. Dumbledore, Snape, Sirius, and Remus surround him. Fawkes perches nearby. Are you certain? Dumbledore asks. Yes. Then we begin. Snape raises his wand, points it at Harry's heart. Harry, I'm sorry. Don't be. You're saving me. One last time. He speaks the words. Avada Kedavra. Green light. Harry's world goes dark. The in-between. Harry opens his eyes. King's Cross limbo. But this time, it's different. No Dumbledore. No flayed soul fragment. Just Harry. And 3 figures walking toward him. James Potter. Lily Potter. Sirius Black. Not the real Sirius. The Echo. The part of him the stone summoned. Harry. Lily smiles. You've done so well, Mum. It's time to go back. James says. Your work isn't finished. I know. We'll always be with you, Sirius's Echo says. Always. They fade. Harry turns, sees the barrier. The way back to life. He runs toward it. The awakening Harry gasps. His eyes fly open. He's on the altar. Alive. Fawkes sits on his chest. Tears dripping onto his scar. The scar burns, then goes cold, then fades. Not completely. Still visible, but dormant. Empty. The Horcrux is gone. Harry. Sirius pulls him into a crushing hug. You're alive. You're alive. I told you I'd come back. Snape staggers back. Exhausted. It worked. The Horcrux is destroyed. I can feel it. The connection is severed. Dumbledore places a hand on Harry's shoulder. Well done, my boy. Voldemort is now completely mortal. When he attempts to return, he will fail. And we'll be ready, Harry says. June 1996, the graveyard trap, Little Hangleton Graveyard. Midnight, Harry stands among the tombstones. But he's not alone. Hidden under disillusionment charms, 20 Aurors, Dumbledore, Snape, Sirius, Remus, Moody, Kingsley Shacklebolt, an ambush. Because Harry knows Voldemort will try. Even without the Triwizard Cup, even without Barty Crouch Jr., Voldemort will attempt resurrection. He still has Wormtail, still has Nagini, still has followers, and he still believes Harry's blood will restore him. But this time Harry is ready. At midnight they appear, Wormtail, hunched, trembling, carrying a bundle. The rudimentary body, Voldemort's temporary form. Place me in the cauldron, Voldemort's voice hisses. Wormtail obeys. A cauldron appears. Magical fire beneath it. Bone of the father, unknowingly given. A bone rises from Tom Riddle Sr.'s grave. Flesh of the servant, willingly sacrificed. Wormtail cuts off his hand, drops it in the cauldron. Blood of the enemy forcibly taken. Wormtail approaches Harry with a knife, but Harry is ready. He lets Wormtail cut his arm, lets the blood drip into the cauldron. The potion boils. Voldemort rises, pale, serpentine, red eyes, noseless, reborn. Harry Potter. Voldemort hisses. At last we meet as equals. Not quite, Harry says. He snaps his fingers. The disillusionment charms drop. 20 wands point at Voldemort. Surprise. Impossible, stupefy. 20 voices shout as one. Voldemort tries to shield, tries to flee, but 20 stunning spells hit him simultaneously. He falls. Unconscious, Dumbledore waves his wand. Incarcerous, ropes bind Voldemort completely. It's over, Tom, Dumbledore says quietly. You've lost. Voldemort wakes in a cell, not Azkaban, somewhere deeper, darker, a place the Ministry built specifically for him, warded, sealed, permanent, no followers, no escape, no resurrection, just eternal imprisonment. And in the cell, alone, Tom Riddle screams. September 1997, 7th year begins. Platform 9 3/4. Harry boards the Hogwarts Express. 17 years old. 7th year. Ron and Hermione with him. Ginny Weasley holding his hand. They've been dating since 5th year. Properly. No war, no separation. Just two teenagers in love. Last year, Ron says. Can you believe it? It went fast, Hermione says. It went perfect, Harry says. Because it did. No war, no deaths, no Horcrux hunt. Just school, Quidditch, newts, Hogsmeade weekends, Yule balls. Normal. For the first time in his life, Harry Potter has a normal life. And it's wonderful. September 1997, Headmaster's office, the Dumbledore conflict. 1 week into 7th year, Harry sits across from Dumbledore. The office is quiet, Fawkes dozing on his perch. You wanted to see me, Professor? Dumbledore removes his glasses, polishes them. Harry, I have been thinking about what you've accomplished. The horcruxes destroyed, Voldemort imprisoned, the war prevented before it could begin. And I find myself wondering what cost this has had on you. Harry's jaw tightens. I'm fine. Are you? You are 17 years old, but you carry the memories of a man who lived to 31, who fought a war, who died. You've changed the entire course of history. That is an extraordinary burden. It's a burden I chose. Did you, or was it thrust upon you by circumstances beyond your control? Does it matter? The result is the same. Everyone lives. That's what matters. Harry, I have made many mistakes in my long life. I have manipulated people I cared about. I have sacrificed pawns for the greater good. I have done terrible things in the name of victory. I know. I've seen it. In my memories. Then you know that I intended to raise you to die, to walk into the forest, to sacrifice yourself. Yes, and yet you forgave me. You worked with me. You trusted me. Why? Harry is silent for a long moment. Because I understand you. In the original timeline, I hated you for what you did, for raising me like a pig for slaughter. But then I died, and I realized something. What? You were doing the best you could with impossible choices. You saw the prophecy. You knew Voldemort had horcruxes. You knew I was one of them, and you made the only choice you thought would save the world. But it was the wrong choice. Maybe, maybe not. In the original timeline, it worked. I died. Voldemort died. Everyone else lived. Well, most of them. It was a victory, just a costly one. Too costly. Yes, which is why I changed it. This time, I found another way, a better way, and you helped me. You didn't control me. You became my partner instead of my puppet master. Dumbledore's eyes glisten. I do not deserve your forgiveness. Probably not, but you have it anyway. Because holding on to anger doesn't save anyone. And I've spent enough of my life angry. You are wiser than I was at your age, Harry. Wiser than I am now, perhaps. I've had more experience. Dumbledore stands, walks to the window. What will you do after graduation? Auror training. I want to protect people, keep the peace we've built. And after that? Live. Just live. No prophecies, no destinies, no wars. Just a normal life. You've earned it. We all have. Dumbledore turns. Harry, there is one more thing I must ask you. What? In your memories of the future, I died. You said Severus killed me on the astronomy tower. June 1997, in the original timeline, that was a mercy killing. I was dying from a curse. The Gaunt Ring. You tried to use the resurrection stone. The curse nearly killed you. Snape gave you a year. But you were dying, and you prevented that by destroying the ring before I could claim it. Yes, then you saved my life as well. I guess I did. Dumbledore smiles. Thank you, Harry, for everything. For saving not just the world, but an old fool who did not deserve saving. Everyone deserves a second chance, Professor. Even you. October 1997. The Astronomy Tower, a different conversation. Harry stands on the Astronomy Tower, late at night. Stars overhead. This is where Dumbledore died in the original timeline. Where Snape cast the killing curse. Where Draco Malfoy's soul was saved. But tonight, the tower is peaceful. Footsteps behind him. Snape appears. Potter, you should be in bed. Couldn't sleep. Snape joins him at the railing, looks out at the grounds. You come here often. It's where you killed Dumbledore, in the other timeline. I am aware. They stand in silence. Do you regret it? Harry asks. In the memories I showed you, do you regret killing him? Every day, but I understood why it was necessary. To save Draco, to maintain my cover, to keep you alive. Snape looks at him. Coming from you, that means something. I've spent 6 years working with you, learning from you. You've taught me occlumency, advanced potions, strategy, patience. You've been more than a teacher. You've been, I don't know, an ally, a mentor. Do not get sentimental, Potter. I'm being honest. You saved my life more times than I can count. In both timelines. And I never thanked you properly. You don't need to. Thank you, Professor, for everything, for protecting me, for honoring my mother's memory, for becoming the man she would have been proud of. Snape's voice is rough. I am not that man. Yes, you are. You just don't see it yet. Harry turns to leave, pauses. In the original timeline, I named my second son after you, Albus Severus Potter. I told him you were the bravest man I ever knew. That's still true. He leaves. Snape stands alone on the tower, looking up at the stars. For the first time in 20 years, the weight on his shoulders feels bearable. December 1997, Christmas at Grimmauld Place. The house is decorated. Fairy lights, a massive tree, presents underneath. The entire extended family is here, the Weasleys, all of them, including Fred and George, alive and laughing, Hermione and her parents, Remus and Tonks, engaged now, planning a spring wedding, Sirius and his girlfriend, a kind witch he met at the ministry, Neville and his grandmother, Luna Lovegood and her father, even Snape, awkward and uncomfortable but present, and Harry, surrounded by everyone he saved. They eat dinner, a feast, turkey, potatoes, pies, pudding. They exchange presents, joke, laugh. Fred and George set off magical fireworks in the living room. Molly scolds them, but she's smiling. After dinner, Sirius stands, raises his glass. A toast to Harry Potter, the boy who lived, the man who saved us all. Even when we didn't know we needed saving, to Harry, everyone shouts. Harry's throat tightens. I didn't do it alone. True, Hermione says. But you led us. You showed us the way, and we're all here because of you. Because of all of us, Harry corrects. This is what we built. Together, a family, a future, peace. To family, Sirius shouts. To family. They drink. Ginny takes Harry's hand. You did good, Harry. We did good. She kisses him. In a house full of love, in a world full of peace. In the life Harry fought for, June 1998. Graduation, the Great Hall is decorated for the graduation ceremony. 7th years in formal robes. Parents in the gallery. Dumbledore stands at the podium. Today we celebrate not just the end of your education, but the beginning of your futures. You leave these halls as adults, as witches and wizards, as the next generation of our world. He looks at Harry. Some of you have faced challenges beyond imagining. Some of you have changed the course of history, and all of you have made Hogwarts proud. Applause, names are called. Diplomas distributed. When Harry's name is called, the applause is deafening. He walks to the podium, shakes Dumbledore's hand, takes his diploma, looks out at the crowd, sees Sirius, Remus, the Weasleys, Hermione's parents, all of them alive, All of them safe. He did it. He saved them all. After the ceremony, Harry walks the castle one last time. Through the corridors, past the classrooms, to the room of requirement he steps inside. Thinks, I need to see what I've accomplished. The room transforms. Becomes a gallery on the walls, moving photographs. Fred and George at their joke shop. Alive. Successful. Remus and Tonks's wedding. Happy. Neville teaching herbology. Confident. Hermione at the ministry. Brilliant. Ron with his family. Content. Sirius at Grimmauld Place. Free. Colin Creevey taking photographs. Alive. Lavender Brown working at a cafe. Alive. 50 other faces. Students who died in the original timeline. All of them living. Thriving. Existing because Harry refused to let them die. He stands in the center of the room. Closes his eyes. I did it, he whispers. I saved you all. A golden shimmer fills the room. Not magic. Not really. Just the feeling of peace. Of a job well done. Of a future secured. Harry opens his eyes, leaves the room, graduates from Hogwarts, and steps into the rest of his life. 2 years later, May 2nd, 2000, Harry stands in Godric's Hollow. At his parents' grave, it's been 9 years since he woke up on platform 9 3/4 with 17 years of memories. 9 years since he started changing the future. He kneels, traces the names on the headstone. James Potter, Lily Potter, I did it, he whispers. I saved them. Sirius is alive. Remus is alive. Fred, Tonks, Colin, all of them. Everyone you died to protect. They're all safe. The wind rustles through the graveyard. A golden shimmer touches his hand. Lily's magic, still protecting, still loving. I think you'd be proud of me, Harry says. I hope you would be. He stands, turns. Ginny waits at the gate. Smiling, they're engaged now. Wedding planned for next summer. Harry takes her hand, ready to go home. Always. They disappear September 1st, 2017, platform 9 3/4. Harry stands on the platform with his children. James Sirius Potter. 13, starting 3rd year, Albus Severus Potter. 11, starting 1st year, Lily Luna Potter. 9, too young for Hogwarts yet. Ginny beside him, Ron and Hermione with their kids. Rose and Hugo. Neville with his son, the next generation. Growing up in a world without Voldemort, growing up in peace. Albus looks nervous. Dad, what if I'm in Slytherin? You were named for 2 headmasters of Hogwarts. One of them was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I ever knew. But what if the Sorting Hat takes your choice into account? If you really don't want to be in Slytherin, you won't be. But if you are, you'll make us proud. Because you're a Potter, and Potters always make us proud. Albus smiles. Thanks, Dad. He boards the train, waves from the window. The express pulls away. Harry watches until it disappears. Ginny takes his hand. You did good. We did good. Do you ever regret it? Going back? Changing everything? Harry thinks about it. About the 17 years he lost, the battle he fought, the people who died, about the choice he made to save them all. No, he says finally. I don't regret a single moment, not even the hard parts. Especially not the hard parts. Because they led to this. He gestures to the platform, to their friends, their family, their children, all alive, all safe, all together. This is what I fought for this moment, this peace. And I do it all again to keep it. Ginny kisses him. I love you, Harry Potter. I love you too. They leave the platform, together, in a world Harry saved, in a future he rewrote, in the peace he earned. Epilogue 2024, Albus Severus Potter sits in the Gryffindor common room. 7th year, head boy. His younger sister Lily Luna beside him. 5th year, Gryffindor prefect. Their cousin Rose Granger Weasley is doing homework. 6th year, top of her class like her mother. Dad was right, Lily says. About everything. What do you mean? Rose asks. About peace. About the world being safe. About us growing up without war. You think there was almost a war? I know there was. Dad told me once. About the dreams he had, the visions, how he saw a future where Voldemort came back, where people died, where everything went wrong. And he changed it, Albus says. He saved everyone. Do you think it was real? Rose asks. Or just nightmares? Does it matter? Lily says. Real or not, he believed it, and he spent years making sure it never happened. That's what makes him a hero. It does. They sit in comfortable silence. Outside, snow begins to fall. Hogwarts stands tall, safe, protected. No battle, no war, no death. Just students learning magic, just children growing up in peace. Just the world Harry Potter saved. The final scene, 2040. Harry sits in his study at Grimmauld Place. 60 years old, gray hair, glasses, still fit from years of RR work before retirement. On the walls, photographs, his wedding to Ginny, James, Albus, and Lily's births, graduations, Christmases, family gatherings, Sirius and Remus, both alive, both old, both still his family. Fred and George's joke shop, thriving, Hermione as Minister of Magic, Ron running Weasley's Wizard Wheezes with his brothers, Neville as headmaster of Hogwarts, every single person he saved, living their lives, growing old, being happy. The door opens, Albus Severus enters, 33 now, an Auror like his father. Dad, you wanted to see me? Yes, sit. Albus sits. Harry pulls out an old book, leather-bound, worn. What's that? A record of everything that happened. The memories, the future I saw, the changes I made, everything. Why show me? Not the story, the truth. He hands Albus the book. This is what really happened. This is what I prevented. This is why we have peace. Albus opens it, reads the first page. September 1st, 1991. I woke up on platform 9 3/4 with 17 years of memories, and I decided to save everyone. Dad. Albus looks up. This is incredible, and now you know it. So when I'm gone, you can tell your children, and they can tell theirs. So no one ever forgets what we fought for. Peace. Peace, Harry confirms. The greatest gift we can give. Albus closes the book, holds it like the treasure it is. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for listening. They sit together, father and son, in a house protected by love, in a world saved by sacrifice, in the peace that Harry Potter built. And outside, the sun sets over London, warm, golden, safe. The war that never was, the future that could have been, changed by one boy who remembered, one soldier who refused to let his friends die, one hero who saved the world, not with a sword, not with a prophecy, but with love, with knowledge, with the choice to make things right. Harry Potter, the boy who lived, the soldier king, the man who saved everyone. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.